Hello and welcome to our podcast. I'm Danny, and today Great.com talks with Howard Pearl, the CEO of CARS, Charitable Adult Rides and Services. If you haven't heard of it yet, they are committed to helping nonprofits across North America to increase fundraising and acquire new contributors through turnkey vehicle donation programs and some other stuff, but we're going to get through this. But remember, if you're new here to this podcast, press subscribe on YouTube or in your podcast app. Hi, Howard, and welcome.
Hi there, Danny. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm just great, thanks. Happy to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for joining. And we were chatting before we started recording, and I said that this is the first time that we actually got to talk about someone that I would call it working on the backstages of NGOs, because the services that you are providing here are really on the base for every NGO to work, I would say. But before we jump into this, let's talk about beginnings, right? How did it begin? When did it begin? And what was behind it? What was the idea driving the creation of cars?
Well, I think the business obviously has evolved over the years. We are about 23, 24 years old, but I only joined the organization just a little under 9 years ago, more by accident than by design. I was asked to come in and do a little turnaround work and find a new chief executive. Um, It was a 45 to 90-day assignment, but when I got here, quite frankly, the staff, we've had no turnover since I've been here in the senior levels at all. I fell in love with the staff. They are an amazing, amazing group of people, and incredibly, the mission. Uh, I fell in love with the mission, and I just decided I did not want to go back into for-profit. I was going to stay and do this. So subsequently, we have grown the business to what we'll talk about today. But in the beginning, um, we are part of a larger nonprofit that's a social service agency here in San Diego. And occasionally people in the neighborhood were donating vehicles, dropping them off in the parking lot. And so someone in the social service agency would advertise them, and on the weekend, back when it was a little safer to have strangers come to your parking lot and sell the cars, and they would take the money and use it in their nonprofit endeavors. It's a fairly large agency that has a large kitchen and serves a lot of food. Has a huge food program, part of the food bank program locally, but also provides advocacy for people that are, a lot of seniors that are unable to advocate for themselves. A lot of social service programs. It's quite quite a lot of services being provided. Housing. We deal a lot with some of the migrants that are coming to the country that need help to be resettled and so on. And we are a division of this group, so our surpluses all go to support the local community. Quite a good sum. And the business grew. We are the largest car donation and real estate donation program on the continent that you have never heard of. We are not the guys with the obnoxious jingle. Uh, you know, uh, we are a B2B. So we are working now with over 9,000 nonprofits, including Red Cross, St. Jude, um, St. Vincent de Paul, Purple Heart, many of these large organizations that Catholic Charities. I mean, the list goes on, Kidney, American Kidney, and so on. But we also deal with little guys who have maybe two employees, and they're animal advocacy in their local community, or anything you can imagine. If you go on our website, you will find a list of these thousands of nonprofits. Even if you go to Kelly Blue Book, they have a donate button that comes to our website, so you can see the choices that you can make. So we have grown over the years, but we don't want to promote our own nonprofit. That's not our job here. Our job here is to promote yours. So when people make a donation to you, we're the guys under the surface making arrangements to have the vehicle picked up. Particularly if it's a collectible, we do a lot of collectibles, specialty vehicles. We have a special group that handles those, and we take them into special auctions. But even everyday cars, good ones, bad ones, ones that run, one run that don't, it doesn't matter. We pick them up with a tow truck, take them to a local um, auction yard all across the country, and so on. And depending on the arrangements, up to 80% of the proceeds from the vehicle sale goes back to you directly. Our problem, not a promise, is from 5 days after we have the capital in our door, it goes to you ACH very quickly. Also, we do the same thing with real estate. Many nonprofits don't do real estate donations because it's very complex and there are so many pitfalls. But we are making this seamless and invisible for people. You can now accept real estate, and we isolate you from 100% of the liability. The property never goes in your name. You never have a responsibility to manage the property. We liquidate it quickly. Again, we turn the capital around and send it to you. There's no, we have a contract with everyone that we deal with. It's a partnership. There's no cost to be involved with the program. And then it also grew into this thing called On the Go, which we'll talk about later, which is providing a national transportation system across the country for seniors. I mean, we are at a point now where across the US and I guess really across the world, the baby boomers, we are seeing in America alone 10,000 people turning 65 every day in this country now. And we felt that there was a national system required to support dignified aging, and part of dignity in aging is being able to do some of your own shopping and being able to go to your daughter or son's house on a Sunday without imposing on them to come and get you every time you have to go to a doctor's appointment or to go to your shopping or to go and have a hair appointment, which is such a huge part of dignity for both men and women. As we grow older, we want to, maybe take a little of the gray out, or maybe put some more gray in. It doesn't matter. Whatever is, whatever dignity is, right? I want to pick up my friend on the way, and we want to go to a social event. We want to go to a movie. You should have the freedom of independence. And in many communities, we are able to provide that at the expense of the local governments or private organizations that sponsor these things. So it started out as a very humble program. Sorry, we have a phone ringing in the background. One I can't control. Pardon me. So we started as a humble organization, taking these vehicles in one community. Now we are doing all of the NPR and PBS stations across North America that have a vehicle donation program. We are the majority service provider to all the NPR people. Many of them, hundreds and hundreds of them, as well as so many other organizations. The list is long, and we provide 100% of the marketing support. We have a large marketing department, 11 full-time people. It's a complete turnkey.
That's
I've
so
said too
amazing.
much.
No, you haven't honestly. And I think you helped us understand better what is behind it, because every time that we try to talk here about how complicated it is to keep the gears turning in an NGO. I think sometimes we like to think, oh, they're doing it just from the goodness of out of their hearts. There's what can be behind it. How hard can it be to do things, to do something good? But it is so, so hard to keep things running. And you really helped us to see one bit that I'm speaking for myself. I don't often think about it, because we are talking about real estate, which means having a place to really exist as an organization, which in some cases is necessary, it's fundamental. And then two, having way to move around. And then
Right.
three, if we think about it, all of these are assets that you guys are providing the organization so they can turn this into what is best for their own interests. So, this is really, really, really good. I'm thinking here, it must be challenging. And how is the process of, if, for instance, if I have a car, if I'm a person, I have a car that I would like to donate, how the process goes through? What kind of vehicles do you accept, and what kind of real estate can you work with?
Easy question to answer. Look, one, at the sort of germination of this, what is the most valued, asset that we have as nonprofits, and that is the ability to garner either grants or donations, many of which come with specific assignments. I am giving you this money to do this. So the most valuable capital you can be given is unassigned capital, right? So when somebody is donating their vehicle or their property, this capital is unassigned capital. You can do with it what you wish. So you can hire an extra person, or you can expand your service levels, or you can update your software and so on. So this is really critical. And the cost to you, is nothing out of your pocket. So what happens, and it's the same process really with real estate as it is with vehicles. I identified that I have a vehicle I want to donate. And by the way, the most reasons people donate their vehicle, people think it's, maybe to get the tax credit and so on. That's not the case. Vehicles are donated because they're in the way, and people have to dispose of the asset. They bought a new car, or they've lost a parent, or kid went off to school, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And it doesn't matter the condition. We prefer big cars that are in better condition, and we do get most of the cars we get are in pretty good condition, and we give them a second life. We recycle them so that people with lower incomes will buy these vehicles, and so they get another 100,000 miles to go, and we save them from the junkyards, and we save them from the recyclers, and it becomes valuable and environmental tool as well. So you would either pick up the phone or go online, or if you go to any site that you want, maybe you're interested in Susan G. Komen. Maybe you've had somebody in your family that's had a breast cancer issue to deal with. So you go to their site, and it says donate, and you can donate your car. You fill in all the details. Someone from here will call you back and verify and get the details. And then we will send a tow truck to your home, pick it up, bring it to a local auction yard. We deal with about 300 of them across the country. And we take the car to auction. It sells. Money comes to us. We process it. We give the thank you letter and the receipt. So you don't have to do any of that. We administer it and send the money to you. And again, our split is normally, between 70 and 80, but about 95% of our people are on an 80-20 split. You get 80 cents on the dollar with no additional load or expense, and we take the 20, and from that we operate our entire operation. Same thing with real estate. The difference with real estate is with a vehicle, you get a tax credit for the amount that you sold the vehicle for. With real estate, you get the assessed value. If you use a government-approved assessment organization, and there are plenty of those, whatever it's assessed at. So we've had people give us second homes, family cottages. They have, maybe 4 kids, and they don't know how to divide it up and give it to them, and they don't want everybody squabbling over it. One is moved to Chicago, one is now taking a job in Europe, one is home having a new baby and figures they're going to get the house, and the other two are saying, well, you have to pay. So they say, you know what, we're going to donate the vehicle, we're going to donate the property. So they donate the property, and maybe they take some of the cash. So maybe it's worth $1 million, and we sell it for 800,000, and they say, I want 100,000. I'm going to give each of the kids 25,000, blah, blah. They pay regular income tax on the 100 that they took, but the balance of it goes to the nonprofit. And again, we take it, we market it, and liquidate it fairly quickly. As the donor, you get again the assessed value, so you will get the full value. It doesn't matter, and we sell it quickly. So sometimes we'll discount that property, but it doesn't matter. If you are the nonprofit and you're getting $600,000 coming, from this thing, it's a huge number, and it doesn't matter if we sold it at a discount. These are big numbers for any nonprofit. And we get homes, we get empty lots, undeveloped property, we get commercial properties, we get
All
we don't
sorts.
take timeshares. We can't deal with timeshares, but I think last week we liquidated a parking spot in New York. city was a parking spot. So it's, it has a tangible asset. And we didn't get, big money, but, somebody donated it to a nonprofit that they were close to, and they wanted to, give it to,
And it
to
makes
somebody they
absolute
cared for.
difference. It makes absolute
Yeah,
difference in the end of the
yeah,
day. It's really, really amazing. And it's a
yeah.
great perspective. And I'm glad that we're being able to share these ideas now, because I think some people might have never thought of it, or thought that, oh, this is going to be so complicated. I'm not going to be able to do this by myself. I would need help. Here's the help. Here is a good way to make the process a little bit easier, I would say.
The toughest thing you have to do is, sign the agreement, which, you can, it's cancellation, clauses if it's something you don't want to do, and there's no expense to it anyway, If there's no money coming in, there's no money going out,
That's perfect.
and then we operate this on the go program, which, as I said, is a national transportation system, that again, we're in 23 states now, and we're rolling it out nationally, and it's quite exciting to
Yeah.
see the impact it's having on people.
Tell us more about this other program, Howard. I was really interested in this too.
Well, but what we're finding out is that cities, municipalities, counties, states, we are beginning to discover that uh, there are two really major problems in this country. Housing being one of them, uh, and transportation being another. Lack of transportation contributes to loneliness, depression, malnutrition, and so on and so on. So it has really become an issue of not just mental health, but physical health as well. And on the go is a program that we work with. We have a unique high touch communication center, and we dispatch Uber Health, Lyft, and other NEMT vehicles, NEMT being non-emergency medical transport vehicles, in the communities that have arranged for the program. So much of this is done by a grant or a contract with the municipality. Again, we're in 23 states, so we're working our way across the country. And what happens is the people involved are given a number and a budget, and they can use this money to transport themselves, anywhere they want, or the city will prescribe geofences. Maybe it's getting people to work on a work program, so that they can take their children and drive them to daycare, and then from daycare take them to work to their job, or take a senior to go shopping to pick their own fruit and vegetables one time, so they can, so that they can get out. Maybe they're not that ambulatory. Maybe they don't want to go every week, but maybe, they want to be able to have, social life, go out and play bridge, or maybe go to their church or their synagogue or their mosque, to pray on one of the holier days, whatever. Or maybe they just want to go to their daughters on a weekend and not trouble them to come and pick them up. It's a part of independent living. And independent living, again, just provides us not only with dignity, but mental health. So a program is called On the Go, and you can look up the details. It's OTG Rides, OTGRIDS.org, and all of the details are there. And again, if you have a need in your community and you reach out to us, then we will find whoever the governing body locally is, and go. But we are getting a lot of inquiries now from across the country, and we're delivering the program, um, in this regard. And there are private organizations like large communities, that are gated communities that provide housing, for seniors, the wealthier groups, and their concierge services also using us, so that the seniors only have to call one number. They call their concierge to get their groceries, to get their transportation, get it all. And so we are contracting with them to provide that service as well. Again, and this is all nonprofit.
That makes life so much easier. And I love that you bring this aspect of mental health. I think it's something that we do need to think more about. And
Well, I look in the mirror and I think, what am I going to need next month, right? So
I think that's a wise way to think. I will not deny that.
That's the
Um,
reality. And it beats the alternative.
absolutely, absolutely.
You know, if it's aging or not, I'll take aging. You know, we'll see what comes. Yeah.
I agree with you completely. Like, give me aging anytime. But we
Well,
will add the link to this program on our episode description here, Howard, so people can easily get that. And also the link to CARS, which is careasy.org, right? .org.
right.
So
Yeah.
people can really get in touch with you guys. And
CAR, yeah, careasy.org.
yeah. And talking about getting in touch, this is one very important topic for us. That is, how can our listeners, either if they are able to donate or if they are NGOs that would like to get in touch with you, either to be helped by you guys or to help you keep going? What are the best ways to get involved?
Well, it depends. If they are a nonprofit and they don't have a car donation program, if they don't have a real estate program, they should reach out to us through that website. There are instructions on the website as to who to call, and then someone will call and explain the program to you and the details. And as long as you are a legitimate 501(c)(3) or 4 in the United States, then we are able to work with you. We are apolitical. So, we take both sides of an equation. We take no position on, right to choose or right to life. We serve both communities, period. We take no position on social or legal issues. That's not our job. Our job is to provide a service to legitimate, government sanctioned nonprofit and help them to express their gratitude to their donors, help them to manage their donors, and help them to get unassigned capital so they can grow their business and provide service to their community, whatever their community happens to be. You know, we are a strange race. We have to learn how to get along a little better. Our choices aren't the only choices. And so, we have learned to say we support choice. So reaching out to us, we can help you to raise some capital. We can bring transportation to your community. And, if you are an agency that, that provides funding for nonprofits, we are always looking for funding for our On the Go program because it is a separate nonprofit on its own. So we are fundraising for that as well. If you can help us in that regard, that is terrific. And if not, then we are happy to help you along the way because that also helps us, right? We take a little piece and takes us about half that to run our business, and the rest goes right into the nonprofit category that we support our founding agency, which again is 107 years old. They are 15 years, 4-star charity navigator. We're good people. We're the right guys. I know that's a little self-aggrandizing, but
I don't
we are
think it
many,
is. I
many
don't think it
years
is.
without any kind of without knock on wood, without any missteps.
I think that's a great testament of commitment, I would say. No NGO gets to be working for so long and acting so far as you guys have been doing without being good guys. So I think
We
this is kind
try.
of just the truth. Thank you so
It's a
much.
privilege to do. It's a sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I tell you honestly, it's a as an individual, I'm on the it is a privilege to do this job. We're not helping one agency, we're helping thousands. And you can see the impact, you hear the impact, you get the stories. One of these days, I will produce a coffee table book of stories of people who have donated their vehicles. Everybody's got a car story, right? And we hear so many of them. And even the real estate, you get so much information on the family and the issues. So it is really a gift to be able to do this job.
Yeah, and to be involved with his lives, I guess, too, because every property, every car has a story behind it. As you said, it is a car, right? It is something meaningful to
Yeah.
someone in a point, I believe.
And then we support a lot of good works. I mean, we have many clients that are taking millions of dollars a year out of this program. I think our highest is in the $5 million category, but we have lots that are taking 50, 70, 100, 300, $400,000, and that's all they need to make the difference, right? You take a small agency, one guy running a pet advocacy, and they maybe get two cars a year, they make $10,000, and that's their entire annual budget. So it's size in this case does not matter. If you get the same treatment whether you are a multi-million-dollar NGO, or you are a single person doing something that is important in your community for your donors.
Absolutely,
And the data is
absolutely.
yours. We don't use it, we don't milk it, we don't sell it. The data is yours, it's proprietary, and that's that.
Thank you so much, Howard, for joining us today. I got so much, like I learned so much today. It was perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. The more message we can get out, the more of the work we can do. Thank you, Danny. And I think what you're doing is also terrific. I love your new format. I love the fact that you are reaching out to Canadians. I'm a Canadian that transplanted to the US many years ago. Uh, but I appreciate that you are going also to Ireland and to European countries and nations, and because we are a unique community of NGOs. We have unique work to do, and we are unique individuals. We are a little light on business experience. So, when we have the opportunity to bring some of the business professionalism into how we operate our NGOs to make them work better for not just our donors, but the constituents that we serve, this is important. Um, and thank you for giving us, one more opportunity to tell our story.
Oh, thank you. And it was truly my pleasure. And for everyone listening or watching, also thank you for staying with us for one more episode. And remember, if you enjoyed it, press subscribe on YouTube or in a podcast app, because that shows the algorithms that this is an important conversation and we can spread the word about the importance of cars. Check their pages, help out if you can, donate to their projects, and well, I see you in the next episode. Bye.